some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, the doo-dah day.
Wow, that does end quick, doesn't it?
Boo, we're here.
Yeah, this
You
this
did
kind of
the
ends
editing.
abruptly.
I can't take any credit for that. Damn, that wasn't supposed to be a question mark, but whatever. Sorry in the comments.
All right, but yeah, we're going. Have any of y'all ever used Facebook Marketplace?
Yes.
Not for years.
Have you ever sold anything on it?
Sold?
sold.
No. Bought? Maybe twice successfully.
Joe, you said you sold?
No, I've never sold. I've only bought a couple things.
I had an old guitar that I sold on Facebook Marketplace today.
Okay.
I mean, I put it up and it was gone. I mean, there was guy says, "I'm on my way. Where is it?" And I told him where it was, and him and his wife pulled up. She was driving. She gets out, and then he gets out, and the guy had no arms. And I handed the guitar to, Holden. Yeah, she took the guitar. She looked at it, showed it to him, and he goes, "I'll take it." I said, "It's for you?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Don't want to be offensive. How are you going to play it?" And he says, "By ear."
And with that, good night, folks.
I'm out of here. Fuck this.
I had Dan.
No, I'm going. You had a guitar for sale and you didn't tell me? You massive SOB. I don't care whether it was acoustic or electric or both.
Well, as soon as he said that the guy had no arms, I'm like, okay, here comes the punchline.
I was waiting for a Rickroll of some sort.
Well, actually,
That's
I knew
a
a
damn
guy
good
that
question,
was.
Carl.
I knew a guy who was missing his right arm, but had only recently lost it. So he had a hook, but he was a guitar player before he had the accident. And I'm going, oh, wow. There's this thing that Brian Eno's partner, Robert Fripp, uses, which is an electromagnetic, what's it called? Plectrum, which basically you just wave over the strings. And because it's electromagnetic, if you've not got nylon strings, if you got metallic strings, it'll make them vibrate. And he can play without having to touch the strings are strung in any way. And once you get sufficiently experienced with the device, you can make all kinds of special effects
Hey,
and
Kiri.
whatnot. And the dude went absolutely pasty white, like I had just made fun of him because he had lost a hand. And I'm going, no, this is a way you could relearn how to play guitar the way that you used to, or at least a way. Might not be the same as what you were used to, but it's a way to play. You still use your left hand to make the chords. You just use your right hand to hold the electromagnet. And he got offended and left. I never saw him again. I'm going, Jesus, some people you just can't. Well, if he was offended, I'm very, very sorry. I didn't mean to offend him. I was just pointing out an additional prosthetic that would add to his hook and give him back the ability to create music, not quite in the same way that he did before, but maybe
close.
Close, or absolutely, or if he was exploratory enough, he could learn how to do even better than he did with his hand. And I'm going, was it something I said, or was it the barbecue? But no, he was gone. Never saw him again. Never heard from him again. I really regret that. It feels like I failed someone when I was trying to help someone. I was trying to be sensitive. I was trying to offer alternatives to a metallic prosthesis.
Mm-hmm.
But he did not take it well, and that was the last I ever saw of him. I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, I'd like to cross over your hand to dip into the paint tray there, Joe. That's one of the most clumsy things about having your art supplies laid out on a table.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to do this awkward crossover and hope your shirt sleeve, if you wear long sleeve shirts, does not ruin your paint job.
I had to repaint part of the Nutcracker earlier because the red on the top wasn't paying attention to how I was holding my hand, and got a bunch of red paint in the white area from my glove that I'm wearing.
There must be an internet thing going on, because Carrie said that they're having problems with a glitchy stream. When I turned my computer on this evening, I didn't have any internet. I know somebody else is having internet problems, so it's kind of like,
Oh, okay, Zach.
And Zach is definitely having illness problems, which I wouldn't wish on anybody.
Russian tea, Zachy, get some Russian tea.
What? Vodka and apple juice? Is that the Russian tea you're talking about?
No, it's like tea and lemonade and some other stuff, cloves and.
Honey,
I can't drink it anymore.
Russians don't do that stuff. I just do straight vodka.
Vodka.
Yeah.
I can't have it anymore, but if I could, I definitely would if I was not feeling well.
There are a lot of things we could recommend to you if you weren't feeling well, if they were biologically compatible with your metabolism. Good Lord, I said all those words correctly.
Oh, Dawn, did you get to try any of the non-alcoholic synthol that they had at Halicon?
I did not, because I didn't get a chance to see what was actually in it, because a lot of that stuff uses citric acid to get flavor.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
didn't get a chance to look into what was in it to know if I could have it or not. Because believe it or not, I was a little busy.
So I didn't try it at Halicon.
Yeah.
We have bought that, and I'm going to say this live on air, absolute shit in a bottle up here before, because we're like, oh, in case we want to still have, what resembles a drink while we're in the green room, some Friday night without, the lasting effects of alcohol. My God, that stuff was horrid.
I got the rum and Coke version, and I drank it, and it's like, it tastes like rum and Coke, but it's just not right.
I hate to know.
I realized there was no burn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, really. Excuse me, I've got a question to answer here. How much rum have you had tonight? This is probably number 7 since noon. So get off my back unless you've got your own damn ladder. Carl, that is normal.
What?
It's not even excessive.
Hey, Donna.
I'm still awake. I'm still functional. I may not be as eloquent as I usually am, but hey, if you got your own ladder, my back is there for you to climb onto. But believe me, if I throw you off, it's because there's a squirrel or a horse that I want to go pet.
That ain't my dog.
It didn't come out as pretty as I like.
Aw.
I'm sorry, I can't see the details from here. I'd need
Neither can I.
really,
Is it like
really
a-
good glasses.
Is it like a negative effect that you went with there,
Yeah.
Dog? Okay.
I wasn't going for a negative effect, but it came out that way.
I meant like negative space, like the actual image of the dog is recessed.
Yeah, it's not supposed to
everything.
be. It's supposed to be lifted.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Don't
but
break it.
Curie just told one of the better dad jokes. Carl, don't worry. You have seniority. You can catch up as you best can.
Come on, kitty bitty.
The only question I have is why is Joe Dog's wife wearing scrubs? Is she going to operate on somebody soon?
No, that's her pajamas.
Okay. Well,
look
they should be
comfortable.
comfortable.
Yep.
Figured she was getting ready to operate on Joe Dog or something.
Only if she comes in with the frying pan. Then we're going, hey, that's entertainment. Kabong. Okay, I'm the only one that got that reference. Jeez.
Nope. No,
y'all
you're
did not.
not.
Y'all did not watch Hanna-Barbera cartoons as children.
No, I'm just wondering why we don't have El Kabong as a something on standby for in case she does ever finally whack him.
Because it's Jodo's channel, he hasn't uploaded that yet.
Ain't giving her the opportunity.
That's why there's a lock on the freaking door.
Well, I
Hey,
did get the 2 colors right. I
That's
just
good.
yeah.
I just jumped in about 4 layers too soon.
Oh,
The
yeah.
billing to change.
Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah.
Ow! Son of a bitch, that's sharp.
Well, don't hurt
Yeah,
yourself with
these
it.
things will print sharp edges, Joe Dog.
Do what, Joe?
These will print sharp edges.
Yeah, especially that corner right there
Uh-huh.
Ouchie.
on the top of your foot.
Owie. Don't hurt yourself. That's my job and Donna's job.
If you had heard the words I was saying before I got my needle nose pliers, when I was taking the supports off of Nick's BSRs, you probably wouldn't let me on stream anymore.
Oh, yes, we would, just because it would be entertaining.
Oh, really? And
And Chris just said maybe soon internet issues. Yeah, I've even noticed my internet is a little wonky tonight.
Last few days, I've been getting errors on YouTube when I've been streaming my 3D prints saying that it's not getting enough bandwidth.
Well, look what I tried to share that thing last night, that it kept coming up about stuff too.
And you know what's weird? Mine has been exceptionally fast.
Oh,
for
you
the
sucked
last
it up.
2 days.
It's all you. We know.
I didn't pay extra. It's just accidental. It's a bonus. Pizza stole the good internet tonight. Hey, I'm not gonna blame Thesis for anything because he's had to put was a really crappy internet for months.
That's a good £quarter. You could hurt somebody with this.
Mm-hmm.
So give that to Donna.
Last time I bought a £quarter, it was not plastic.
And the thing is about this, the further away it is, the better the image. Well, it's not showing there.
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing it.
Down a little.
I'm sorry, Joe Dog. I'm seeing a lump of plastic with the lines in it.
Yeah, I could feel it with silicone.
Hey. There are several actresses that would sue you over that.
Hey. Dan, do you remember when talking about getting plastic surgery was taboo?
I remember when everything was taboo. Good Lord.
Now
He
they talk.
remembers when taboo was taboo.
Do what, Joe?
He remembers when taboo was taboo.
Yeah.
Mm.
But now they talk about about Botox and nobody even raises an eyebrow.
Because they freaking can't. They're already on the above their forehead. I have seen some elderly actresses that have undergone Botox. It's like they look.
Do not fucking encourage him.
They look wrinkle free, but perpetually astonished at the universe.
Hey, I got Dom to laugh on that one. You got to give me some credit.
Hey, we can get Dawn.
You got to admit that was a good one.
It was.
But
It,
we have to be very, very careful and very polite.
it caught me off guard because I was like, "Oh, wait, where did Kiri go?"
Hey. Even Zach just turned his camera off.
Hey, but Carl said that joke was good. So you got the Uncle Carl Secret Humor Group seal of approval.
Mm,
And now you can post that one without it being deleted or you being blocked from the group.
mm.
I don't know how many times that has happened, but probably about once a month.
All right, I'm gonna have to hold off on my. I got a list of them tonight.
Oh, fuck.
Dan, I hope you have plenty
Sorry.
more rum.
Sorry, Mom. I do use that language. I got a feeling my mom actually
Alexa,
does
turn off
watch
the
me
printer.
on YouTube, and I'm going, oh, I've been a bad boy. Well, I have fun. My friends have fun. I still have friends. So everything is good to go. Let's see.
Well, Carl, Joan Rivers did always look astonished, but she hasn't decomposed any yet either.
How would you know?
Joan, hey,
Well, seeing as it's been 10 years, she was more plastic than body, and she had to be buried in a recycling center.
How do you know these things?
research.
And who is this now?
Apparently Joan
Hey,
Rivers.
plastic surgery actually killed Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
Among other things.
Well,
Yeah, you're not meant to have that much unnatural crap in your body.
Jim?
and you're not meant to have that many bored people in your audience.
Oh God.
Yes, that was a very, very brutal statement, but yeah.
He's not wrong. I'll give him that one.
I will
How I do?
I will admit I was trying to get on. Apparently my laptop and my router were just having a dispute, and I had to restart both of them to get things moving.
My 3D printer, when I turned it on this morning, I went to print the first thing and I hit print and I go start doing other things. I'm like, why don't I hear the printer heating up?
Oh,
and I go and look and nothing there. And I go back over to the computer. It said print failed. I'm like, well, how'd the print fail? It didn't even start. Come to find out, it just decided to forget what my network was.
Lindsay printed something 2 days ago. She goes, oh, this might come out really small. I go, okay, but you hit print on your iPad from the living room and it started printing back here. And not only did it print out very, very small, but it was black text on a white background, but everything that was not. The teeny tiny, almost need a microscope to read window the print was in was black background.
Oh.
I'm going, that's a whole bottle of ink I'm going to have to replace really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I could have printed off the entire Library of Congress and used lists in that particular piece of paper. But if it made her happy, I am fine with it. And she looks at it and she goes, I can't read this. It's probably better off if I just use my cell phone. I'm going. Baby, it's a good thing I love you because that was $20 worth of ink. It's a good thing she doesn't watch this show or any other show that I'm on. I think the only reason she doesn't show up on Friday nights in Discord is because I'm there, and I utterly bore her to tears. This is my wife. I love her dearly, but after 18 years, I think she's really fucking bored with my bullshit, which I have yet to run out of. But, nobody else has a problem. Okay, county government has a problem, but...
Hey, Donna. Hey, Carl. Hey, Carrie.
And again, this might come out really small, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said. And it did.
Oh, and hello, Trey. And Zach.
Hey, where's Trey?
She's in the chat.
Yep.
Well, I goes.
Well,
You got to scroll up.
Yeah, Trey said use Bella's print as an ink stamp. It's just a relief then for making a stamp.
That'd be one big ass stamp.
Zach's on vocal rest.
There are so many things I should not ever say to Trey Lana that I would love to reply right now, but just because I'm a natural born smartass. But no.
She lives with a natural born smartass. I mean,
believe me, Joe, she has not experienced the glory that is
the Klingon Empire,
free flowing invective of stuff. Although she would have no problem with my industrial language, but my really inappropriate things that I should not say in front of ladies whatsoever, including Dawn. Including Dawn, including both Donnas.
And Trey.
No, I can say it in front of Trey because she'd go, holy shit, you're one of my people. But there are levels of industrial language that I try to dismiss from my memory, but it's still accessible. Because I am more than slightly mad. And you've had to watch one of Freddie Mercury's last videos to get that reference. It's quite not only disturbing but very memorial. Nicholas. Good evening. Are you all right? You seem to be slurring a touch. I have been unable to work outside, so I have been indoors, staying warm, trying to get rid of a cold, and I have consumed a monumental amount of alcohol.
Hey, Nick. Nick.
But thank you for asking, and I really do appreciate your concern. Yes, I am slurring more than a touch, but
Yeah, just a little, Dan.
well, you want me to leave? I can.
No. I'm just saying, you're the light's on bright tonight.
Well,
Well,
it was
really,
cold.
my nipples aren't showing, so I'm not doing a Michaela. Um,
Ooh,
oh God, that was recorded. Oh fuck.
Yeah,
ooh, damn.
and I can't clear it off of your channels.
No.
I can't edit it either, but well, she is pretty. So there you go. Yes, I'm being irresponsible.
Oh my God.
I'm a 70-year-old teenager. Give me some slack.
Um,
There it is.
that wasn't what I was oh my godding over.
Hey,
Well,
Dan, give your shovel to Carl.
Oklahoma is beating Alabama 24-3 in the fourth quarter.
Uh-oh.
Who won in the Minnesota
That's
game?
that's one of those rivalries that you hope is always close because otherwise they're going to be riots.
Isn't Oklahoma one that just came into the SEC?
Yes, and they were not prepared. They were typically one of the two best teams in the Big 12, but as soon as they came into the SEC this year, they have not fared well. They are 500 going into this game. So if they win this game, they should become bowl eligible.
Let's say
This will be Alabama.
Alabama's been struggling this year, haven't they?
This
Yeah.
will be their third loss. They have won more games than they've lost, but there's been some close ones.
Yeah.
Of course, Georgia struggled this year too. So
Of course, y'all.
Georgia's record is not stellar either.
Of course, y'all have heard that if the SEC teams were fast food restaurants, Alabama would be Del Taco because they don't operate in Tennessee.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a Matt Mitchell special, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And there's always a Taco Bell next to him trying to put him out of business.
Who did Minnesota play today? Was that Penn State?
Sounds right. I'm not positive.
Yeah, they played Penn State. Penn State won by a point. We were watching it at lunch today, and right before the half, there was a pretty little play for the Gophers. If you get a chance, go back and watch it. It was right before the half, within the 2-minute warning.
Well,
I'm typing something in on the wrong damn computer.
See, I can't fault you for that, Dan, because
I've got
done that
3
sober.
going right now.
I've done that sober with various laptops in front of me. You grab a mouse and go, why isn't the cursor? And then you notice how your peripheral 3 monitors over that the mouse is moving.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
Even
all
worse-
right. I was just trying to tell Nick that my preferred brand of copy is either Maxwell House or JFG. Simple sentence. If I could pick the right keyboard to type it in on,
Oh.
yeah. Maybe I should just shut the fuck up and go away for the night.
Well, I'm going to make this PSA. I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's time to move the frozen turkey to the fridge.
You're correct.
Yep.
And for God is my witness.
I thought turkeys could fly.
Cincinnati, when the turkeys fell.
You know,
I actually got that reference. Thank you.
as social media has its bad stuff, I am so glad that things like the turkey drop has made a resurgence for the newer generations.
Right?
It makes a resurgence for every generation, believe me.
Well, just for a lot of different the stuff like the people that are getting exposed to like Carol Burnett and things like that they wouldn't generally. It's like
Oh,
that's
they should
that's
though.
what social media is good for.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, mine
Super
didn't
glue in
ding.
there. Drop that in.
Anyone that was out among the masses today, the stores are a little heavier occupied than normal. And I'm presuming it's only going to get worse.
I have got to say this. Oh my gosh. Today we had to go do a few errands real quick. Well, we had to, because we're doing Christmas and Thanksgiving in less than a week. We went to one store, made it through the line, went to the next store, and I had forgotten my coupon at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, dang it. Well, actually, I said, damn it, forgot my coupon. I'm like, oh, excuse me. I apologize for my language.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady next to me goes, here, I'm not going to use mine. So she hands me her coupon. And so I got to use her coupon. And that, yes, I know it's coupon. And I saved like $12. And I was like, thank you so much. You know, and I was very thankful. Then I had to run over to the dollar store. And the lady in front of me had an entire cart full of stuff. I'm sitting there with 2 bags and 2 things of tissue paper. And she goes, is that literally all you have are those 3 things? I said, well, that's 4. And she's like, oh my goodness. She goes, just get ahead of me. And so she let me go in front of her in line. And I was like, you know what? I go, the lady just next door let me use her coupon and you just let me go ahead of you. And it's like, you know, some things you kind of worry about a lot of shit in life. Oh, but then stuff like this happens and you get a little bit more of that. Humanity is still good. And that is adorable, Joey.
Yes, it is. And Zach, I hate to tell you this, but Dawn is allowed to talk any way she wants to in any accent she chooses to use. And you will be expelled from the United States and into Russia so you can watch their rockets go up if you keep
Joe Dog,
bitching about Dawn.
muted.
I thought she was making fun of the way Zach talked.
Hey,
We
sometimes
all
I
make
kind
fun
of
of the way Zach talks.
Sometimes a Minnesotan accent can sound a lot like a Canadian accent. So once in a while we have to be, you know, team up, Zach and Dawn.
Or chased by murder geese at the same time. I've seen it in England. Those things are really aggressive. Although they don't call them geese, they call them murder chickens.
But that was actually a really cool thing today. And I with all the stuff going on, it was just, and the stores were packed.
Yeah, there's still some kindness out there.
Yeah.
And
Well,
people
there's
do
there's
that
really
for
not
your food.
Cobra
enough.
chickens.
There's
Cobra
really not.
chickens.
There's really not enough kindness.
I don't know about that, Carl.
We can all share our personal supply, but no matter how much kindness we got on hand, there always needs to be more. And that is one of the things that is wrong with not only this country, but every other country. Kindness is not automatic. It should be, but well, Zach, I'd leave him alone if you could spell it correctly.
Well, the problem with that, Dan, is kids today don't think kindness is expected. Kindness must be earned, and respect must be earned. You don't give a shit about somebody until they're nice to you.
Well, I can respect that opinion. I can respect it. I don't
We didn't have
to
any
agree
choice.
with it, but yeah, as Chris said, we didn't
Our
have
parents
choices.
beat
Yeah,
them
we didn't
to
have
it.
any choices. Get our
we
ass
had
beat.
we had the Pete switch to enforce kindness upon us, along with good manners.
No,
Yep.
no,
No,
that's
what?
changing. I just started, slicing a file. It's going to take a roll and a half of filament and take 3 days.
Dang.
Jesus.
I'd
So-
say terminate that particular file because there's something wrong there.
Yep.
No, that ain't happening, cowboy.
Okay, I don't have the hat on, so I can't say excuse me. But
Now, that's a little bit better. 14 grams in 43 minutes. That's what I needed.
Yeah.
what is that particular run going to screw up for you? That's what I want to know. And you think I'm still slurring, but it's Saturday. I'm retired. I have no responsibilities. I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. My wife is going to church, but I'm not because I don't want the place to spontaneously combust if I walk through the door.
No, the place won't spontaneous combust, only you.
No, I won't. Believe me, the building would. There's nothing wrong with me. It's the Daughters of Confederacy that go to church there that haven't read the book and don't actually follow it.
Hey, is Trey still watching? Did she? I hope she knows that the post I did in the secret humor group was for her. I didn't tag her in it.
I don't know. She's upstairs.
You're supposed to know these things. I'm pretty sure
Your woman, Joe.
Periscope that's supposed to go up to the basement.
Hey, Joe, can't you keep up with your woman?
Hell no, I can't keep up with her. I am old, I am fat, I am lazy, and I am sassy.
You're not
dog. Can you keep up with your wife?
Yeah.
That's he's medicated.
Hey.
He can't only keep up with her, he can keep ahead of her because he's still alive.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, what goes on around my house, I have total say. Inside's where bitch takes over.
Inside, yes.
Did you see that frying pan with the sword handle I posted?
Come on.
Somebody asked Carl if he could control Aunt Donna. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, right. Like, that's fucking likely. The entire U.S. government, with every agency, could not control Aunt Donna. I'm
Whose song,
sorry.
Jackie? Which song?
Oh, Sophie tells me he's doing a song for Stupid O'Clock.
Okay. Well, he just said your song, so that's I'm like, he already did my song, and he already did. Whose other song did he do?
Green Room
Oh, okay.
and
No,
mine.
Okay, I was gonna say there was 3 songs.
Okay, y'all have asked for it. I'm going to get drunker.
That's okay. I'm going to hydrate.
Yeah, I'm hydrating too. Whiskey with a beer chaser.
I'll start to worry, Dan, when you show up to the shows with this.
No. I take about 7 beers to fill up, which is about my limit for broadcast time.
I just want to put this here for Carl said some dude asked if I could control Aunt Donna. You don't want a woman that you can control unless you are a man who is that.
Stupid.
What's the word I'm looking for here?
Stupid is the word you're looking for.
One of them, yes. But I mean, a good woman you don't want to control because you want her to be who she is.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a good woman, but any woman, any partner in any relationship whatsoever, no matter what the orientations are, you don't want to control them. You want to be their partner. Okay, this is an old married guy advice that no one probably needs or wants. But if you're not equal partners in the relationship, no matter how many sides to the polycule, it's eventually going to fail. There has to be respect going. Pardon me while I start last minute standing.
Well, I had somebody tell me one time, "You better control your woman." I said, "I am controlling her. That's why your ass is still alive."
Exactly. Yeah. You just
way more truth to that than they ever thought possible.
You damn straight.
You heard about the night we were at drinking, and this is back when Ted was still drinking and I could drink, and I was drinking Beam on the Rocks, and some guy tried to start a fight with me at the bar and looked at Ted and said, "You're going to let her drink that?" He goes, "She can drink whatever she wants." Yeah, but a woman should be drinking straight whiskey. I can't believe you would let her drink that. He's like, "She's a grown-ass woman. She can drink whatever she wants." And this guy wanted to fight me because I was drinking whiskey on the rocks.
Oh, my God.
I don't think that would have ended well for him. I really don't. I've seen what you did to John, and that was on the sly. When you were feeling, yes, when you were feeling, oh, I'm being attacked. I should defend myself. Somebody is going to be going, I don't know where these chainsaw wounds came from in the emergency room, but, there was this cute chick that I decided to harass, and all of a sudden she went all Wolverine on me.
I ain't
Oh
worried
my-
about Wolverines. It's honey badgers that beat your ass.
Hey. Yes, and honey badgers are almost as cute as Dawn, but you know, trying to be respectful here. Women can't drink whiskey is what 1932. Well, nobody could drink whiskey in 1932. The government was poisoning
Prohibition.
this stuff. Wasn't safe for anybody to drink it. Yet people did, and oftentimes went either blind or died because the federal government poisoned alcohol because some little old ladies decided it wasn't Christian because they'd never read the book to consume alcohol.
That and they probably let a few bad examples cloud their judgment.
Yeah. Joe Dog, it is time for the sock.
No, it's our 30 show.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. We still got another 30 minutes to babble on.
Yeah. No, here's an interesting story. Do you know the preferred brand of grape juice to be served as communion wine?
Well,
Mogan David.
Welch's. Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh,
here's the thing. The pasteurization process for grape juice to prevent it from turning to wine
Mm-hmm.
was created by who?
Louis Pasteur.
No. To pasteurize grape juice.
Oh, that I don't know. I was
Reverend
just thinking
Welch.
about pasteurization. What?
Reverend Welch.
Okay.
yes.
That makes sense.
And they did issue bricks of dehydrated grape juice with warnings that say, don't put this in a container in your closet for a couple of months after adding the appropriate amount of water. It will turn into wine, which is illegal.
But yeah, that's where the temperance movement started. It was Reverend Welch to sell his grape juice.
I do believe a lot of Blue Nose ancestresses were involved as well. Doesn't mean they weren't convinced by Reverend Welch, but
Mm-hmm.
they never read the book all the way through.
Ooh.
My grandmother, who farm girl her entire life, farm lady entire life, used to make grape juice and jam and stuff like that. She had a couple of grapevines, and my mom went to see her one day, and she goes, "You're acting funny. What's going on?" She's like, "I don't know." It was right after breakfast, and Mom went, and apparently the grape juice had fermented.
Nice.
My mom made plum jelly from wild plums near the house, and it fermented in the jelly jars.
Ooh.
And she was surprised to find 2 or 3 of those under my bed as a teenager. And I'm going, Hey, Mom, I like jelly as much as the next guy, but this stuff's got a kick. I guess
Good thing there
that's
was some
where I
mom
became an
monitoring.
alcoholic, is my mom's jelly. Well, other than biological tendencies from my ancestors, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm just a fucking drunk. Um, there's a big difference. Now I'm looking at a glass of whiskey and a beer, and I'm going, which one do I drink first? I should shut up now and let y'all talk.
Oh, did we were talking about turkeys and chickens earlier? Joe, have you heard what happened to Evelyn's rooster? About getting henpecked?
Yeah. They tore his ass up, didn't they?
Yep. She got him
Literally.
in protective custody right now.
Which Evelyn and the
Uh,
rooster is in protective custody?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hens had enough of his ass.
Yeah.
Well, that's a uniquely 70s thing to have occurred. But yeah, those are obviously liberated hens, and more power to them. Oh dear, that was rude.
So there's a guy up here. He runs a Facebook page called Region News Source, and he reports on a lot of things going on in the area, and he actually does have a lot of good rapport built with the various police departments and everything. And he's got a secondary page you can pay 99 cents a month for to have access to, that has more of like the live updates, more or less.
Mhm.
Him and a few of his admins will listen to the police scanners. And
Oh,
I just love going into there and just looking at, especially when a lot on the weekends, if they're at home, you'll just see them constantly posting, what different calls are coming in. And there's one who was shoplifting, Highland Coals, coupler in their 20s, currently stealing inside. Officer is already outside waiting.
yeah.
It's like, I love reading this thing just because you get to see some of the absolute insanity of the area without having to be out in public.
Well, there's one that Uncle Carl would be interested in that talks about uh, number stations and what on not only shortwave but medium and longwave radio, and a lot of them have been identified as Russian. I don't really know what to call them. Obfuscation sites or propaganda sites. But they're trying to broadcast to the free world how incredibly great it is to live under the premier of Russia, and most folks are going, excuse me, you're broadcasting illegally in Russia to get to us in the free world about how great it is not to be free.
I just realized how long my hair is getting again. I need
I
to
see
chop it
that.
off.
I see that.
Well,
Joe, you're talking about your police reports and all that.
Mm-hmm.
This has been 30 years ago now. I was friends with a lot of the little small town Red Bank, Tennessee police department,
Mm-hmm.
and they all hung out at this one convenience store, which was just right down below the house. And I was down there, and the bottom fell out. I mean, we're talking raindrops this big around.
Ooh.
And they get a call for domestic, and the police sergeant goes, he stops and he's listening to the address and all that. You know, gives his number and says, responding. As he walks out the door, and he says, if they hadn't stopped fighting by the time we get there, I'm taking the baby to jail too.
sometimes that's the only way to get through to people.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Yeah. No,
Man,
if you listen to what he said, two.
yeah, I did listen to what you said.
He's taking the whole damn house to jail.
Yes, sometimes that's the only way to get through to the couple is
Yeah.
to get family children's services involved and go, you're going to lose your child because you're an asshole. You're both assholes.
No, not knowing Cassidy. No, he took the baby to jail. He probably took the baby to juvie.
So we have a recurring issue where the local Dunkin' Donuts, the traffic backs up in their drive-through so badly it blocks part of the road, which is illegal in the state. And our police chief will go through and he'll hit his air horn and siren a little bit. And as long as people either kind of pull in off to the side or, decide to go in and get their stuff, as long as they clear the road, he's happy. Well, this lady finally, pulled up into the parking lot. And as he went to go by, she gets out of her vehicle and yells at him, "You don't have to be so fucking rude." So he stopped and he said, "Ma'am, you were blocking traffic. That's illegal in the state." He goes, "Technically, it's a misdemeanor in the state of Indiana." He goes, just, you can't block the road. She decides to double down on him. Now, he was just going to drive away. He wasn't going to write her a ticket, nothing. So she doubles down and he finally gets out. He goes, "Okay, you want to push the issue?" He goes, "No, you're under arrest." So she starts resisting. He goes, "Look, quit resisting. You're under arrest. We're going to tow your vehicle and impound it. I hope it was worth the cup of coffee." And then she kept resisting, and he goes, "Look, you keep resisting, I'm going to add that on. Put your hands behind your back."
I don't
she got hit
care
with
that the
resistance.
other 99 people in line in the drive-thru were police cars. You're the only civilian, so you're going to jail.
Well, bad part is we only have one cop on at a time generally. So when chief has to actually take someone to jail, or any of our officers have to take anybody to county, we have no police protection until they get back, technically. Unless Lake Station or Hobart can assist.
That could take hours to process somebody through the paperwork.
Oh no, we only have to drop them off.
I can just imagine getting out, going, "Okay, here's your drive. Don't forget to tip the driver."
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and
Yeah.
thank you for using Uber Police.
Yep.
Jesus.
The county
not
motel,
saying-
as the chief calls it.
The county motel. Yeah.
I won't say any names or
Hey,
give too much
I think
information.
it's 5
but
star. You get room service and meals and free bedrooms.
Well, I'm not
They-
going to say that
they
this
even
did or
give you
did not
purse to wear.
happen, but there was multiple. I had you know, you can only really fit 2 people in a back of a cop car, and so if you have more than 2 people, you have to have more than 1 cop car. And we never got caught after never ever got caught after curfew.
Mhm.
And there was never ever 5 of us, and the cop never ever said, "Just go home."
Yeah, Carl says police are now scrambled where he's at. Yeah. Do you know why they now scramble their calls?
Probably because people want to go and see what's happening.
No. The drug dealers were listening to the scanners, and when they got the call, they'd scatter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I also maybe never was the sober person leaving the bar and would talk to the cop that was standing outside the backs of the bar where we all parked in the back in the alley.
Mhm.
And I was never the person that sat there and talked to the cop until I saw my friends leave.
Mm.
Oh,
the
you
DD.
were the designated distraction.
Yep.
The
Designate-
DD, the designated decoy.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Now that was many years ago. Many years ago. And I do not. If you're drunk, keep your ass home or find somebody else to drive you.
Yeah.
Oh, my buddy Eric and I were heading up to the club one night, and they had a sobriety checkpoint set up. We get pulled into it, and cop's on his side. He was driving, I was passenger. Cop was on his side, another one on my side. Hand our IDs off, and one on my side looks at me and goes, "So, you boys been drinking tonight?" I said, "No, you caught us on the wrong trip." He goes, "What do you mean wrong trip?" I said, "We're heading to the bar. We haven't started yet."
Really?
I said,
The parking lot. Wait till we come out, okay?
I said, "How late you boys gonna be here?" He goes, "Late enough." Yeah, I figured. We took a different route home.
Yep.
I think they've about declared those stops illegal, ain't they?
In some places, yes.
Yeah. So
And
they can't call them sobriety checkpoints.
Safety
our-
checkpoints, isn't it now?
I think so.
Make sure
is
you're wearing
what-
your seatbelt and that blah blah blah.
And they can't ID anybody in the car but the driver.
Oh, that's a new
Uh,
one.
Maybe for your state, I think they still can in ours.
Mm.
You probably haven't had somebody's rich kid stopped yet.
Yes.
Yeah, we
or a cop's kid.
yeah, the sobriety. Well, I still call it a sobriety checkpoint because that's what it is. Let's be honest. They used to set one up in the CVS parking lot next to our pool hall. Because the CVS shut down at like 9:00 at night.
Carl, I'm sure the statute of limitations has run out.
Distraction.
You are more right than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, they used to set up, and our pool hall didn't serve alcohol. We didn't serve alcohol at all. And there's one night I had taken off one of the weekend nights for some reason. I talked to the person who covered for me, and they're like, "Yeah, it was dead in here. They had a sobriety checkpoint. Cops took up all our parking spots, this and that." I'm like, oh, all right. So a couple months later, they set up another one, and I start noticing cop cars parking in front of the building. And mind you, we got a big, bright, open sign. Places lit up. And so I wait a little bit. I let them start getting everything kind of set up and going, and I walk out there, and I walk up behind the two girls who are dispatchers. I said, "Hey, can you get a hold of whoever's in command of this for me? I'd like to talk to them." This other officer that's standing there goes, "Well, what can I help you with?" I said, "You the commander?" He goes, "No." I said, "Then you can't help me with anything other than finding your commander. I need to talk to the guy who's in charge of this." "Why do you need to talk to him?" I said, "Because I want to talk to the man in charge, not to someone else." So he comes walking up. He goes, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You're running this whole thing?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." I said, "See that pool hall over there? We don't serve alcohol, and we're open until at least 1 a.m. I need you to move your police vehicles." I said, "Also, if someone pulls in and says they're coming to our pool hall, I don't care if you check them first, but once you're done checking them, you are going to allow them to turn left and come into our parking lot. Well, that creates a safety hazard for us. Don't care. We're open. You're blocking our business. As a matter of fact, you're using the entrance to our parking lot." "Well, what are you going to do about it?" I said, "I'll call the state." "What do you think they're going to do?" I said, "They'll shut you down." "Well, they can't shut us down." Yeah, they can. They outrank you, your county, for one. For two, you're currently set up on a state road, and by looking at your cones, you do not have the proper setup, because I've watched the same box truck come through here 3 times and wipe out your cones. I said, "So if you'd really like to press the issue, I will call the state permit inspector and have him come down and shut you down. Or you can move your vehicles and let my customers come in. Your choice." "Well, who do you think you are?" And I held up my NDOT badge. I said, "I'm the person who outranks you in this situation right now. So take your pick, officer."
Get written up or go away.
Mm-hmm. I said, "You're not my first encounter with a county cop that thinks they're above the state. So if you'd really like to go through with this, we can dance. You're not going to like it, though." Yeah, they moved all their vehicles. Customers were able to come in. It was great.
Well, at
I
least
like
you didn't
your,
have a
I
cowboy.
like your style, Joe. I
At
really
least
do.
you didn't have a cowboy who says, "I can just arrest you for obstruction."
Oh, I think he realized once he saw the NDOT badge and the fact that I was able to rattle off everything the way I did, that would have been a very, very bad move on his part.
It would not look good on his future employment record after he got fired for fucking with you.
Well, that's like the county cop that when we were out patching potholes, we had stopped traffic in the other lane because we had this pothole that I swear to God, it crossed both lanes and had to be every bit of 6 to 8 inches deep. And we actually stopped traffic, not to fill it all the way up, but to get enough mix in there to where people weren't bottoming out in this thing.
Yes.
And this county cop comes up, "You shut down traffic again, I'm going to shut down this operation." And my foreman looks at him and goes, "Who the hell you think you are?" He goes, "The only people shutting this down is me, my boss, the state police, or the governor himself."
Which
And
are
then-
you?
Yeah. Well, then they pulled up in front of me. I ended up in the patch truck because we were right by one of the exits, and cars kept cutting me off. And so they pulled up in front of me to kind of act as a buffer, and they were rolling along with me. It was the same older cop and his young, I don't know if he was a trainee or what, but the trainee was driving, and all of a sudden this other cop car pulls up. The trainee gets out of the driver's seat, hops in the other vehicle, and they take off. Older cop's still sitting in the passenger seat. So I continue rolling up a little bit. I'm getting closer, and I'm getting closer. I hit the city horn a couple times. Nothing. Start laying on the air horn. He gets out, looks at me, throws his hands up at me. So I stopped the truck, put it in neutral, set the parking brake. I opened the door. I said, "Hey, can you hop in the driver's seat and keep pulling forward? We're trying to continue on." "I ain't moving this fucking vehicle."
Fine, we'll pave over it then.
That's fine.
With you inside.
Well, our patch trucks, the patch truck is a plow truck with a patch wagon on the back. It's the middle of winter. I have the plow on the front of this thing. So I just smiled, said, "That's fine." Sat back down, put my seatbelt back on, released the air brake, acted like I put it in drive, dropped that plow blade straight to the ground as I hit the gas.
Prepare to be moved.
Mother effing Joe. Yeah, that's what he said.
He jumped back about 10 feet. I let the engine rev down, popped the brake again, pull the plow back up. I looked at him and I said, "That's your warning. The next time it will be in drive, and I'll push that goddamn cop car down in the ditch with you in it. I don't care. You're the one that told us not to stop moving. I suggest you get in that vehicle and allow us to keep moving." "Oh, I'll move it. I'll move it." "Thank you." Next thing I know, I sit back down and hear the radio going off. "The hell's going on up there, Joe?" "Nothing. I'll explain it when we get back to the yard later." Told my foreman what happened. He goes, "You didn't." I said, "Oh, you bet your ass I did. That cop was a dick from the word go this morning."
Hey, sometimes you've got to prove there is a higher authority,
Mhm.
and they need a demonstration. Sort of like being shoved into a ditch and covered in asphalt.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Well, the thing was, it was one of our old Sterling trucks too. So those things, they didn't get up to speed very quick. I mean, max speed I think I ever got one up to was 50, and that was downhill with a full load of salt and a good wind behind me. But those things would push whatever was in front of you out of its way. Joe Dog knows what I'm talking about with those older trucks.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what I did one time. It wasn't with the police, but I had this guy. I was running what they call relay from the main yard to the little outposts, keeping those stockpiled. And there was this guy in a Camaro that thought it would be funny to get in front of me and slow down and almost stop.
Oh.
Well, the way Chattanooga is, you go out this main road, we have a ridge with a tunnel through it. So this guy would, stop me going up on the tunnel. And when I get a good head of steam up, I would, ease over into another lane to go, try to pass him. He'd cut me off again, and like this. Finally, when we started down the ridge, I eased over into the turn lane that was still iced over.
Well, I got a question for
and
you.
I started gaining on him. He whips over into that ice to, cut me off again. And I whipped back out on the asphalt. He cut back, and before he knew it, he was ass over and he just started spun out, and I drove past him.
Pinwheeling.
Hey, would you
Yeah.
believe he didn't try that shit again?
Yep.
Hey,
You had
we
a
were on our
question,
way.
Chris?
Yeah. Did you ever have any of those old Sidewinder Max with the offset cabs in them?
No.
Those things were really heavy duty, and lots of times if they had something really heavy to pull, they liked having those because there wasn't much plastic on it. It was just about all steel and metal.
Yeah, the old Sterlings were ratted out. Like I'd only seen one in the Gary sub fleet
Mm-hmm.
that still had a working AM/FM radio in it.
Mm-hmm.
95% of them, your cigarette lighter port to be able to try and charge your phone was hanging out by its wires.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the dashboards were zip tied into place,
Oh wow.
and at least 3/4 of them, you couldn't run your full set of lights and your salt spreader at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You had to turn
Yeah.
off half your safety lights to have enough juice to run the salt spreader.
Good grief.
But those
It
things,
was not
they were not.
wired creatively.
Yeah. Well, those things were so old, they weren't computerized like the newer ones.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a major snowstorm coming in the one night, and I'm waiting for the call. And I
That it is.
I end up calling the foreman. I said, "Hey, are you guys going to need me tonight?" He goes, "Not unless the shop pulls off a miracle."
They
What do you
Carl
mean?
screenshot that shit.
I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "We got four trucks running right now." So what do you mean you got only 4 trucks? He goes, "We got the 3 Sterlings and an International. All the Kenworths
Whoa.
yep. All the Kenworths and Freightliners are down.
Dang.
Basically everything that was running on the DEF system was down and out."
No, Carl, I'm out.
You don't get in the way of an International if you don't want to be moved out of the way. I don't care if it's a tractor or a truck or whatever. Those things are
we had people
indestructible.
We had people complain about driving those old Internationals. I loved it. Because just like the Sterlings, as long as you didn't shut it off,
Yeah.
that thing, long as you didn't shut it off, it ran. I only had one problem ever with an International. I was at the north end of my turnaround,
Mm.
and I swung out and I went to do the U-turn up by this parking lot. All of a sudden I hear pop, and the steering wheel stopped. Blew my power steering line.
Wow.
I get out, I look, you'd think I just ran over something and just totally decimated it. There's just red fluid all over the ground. Call my foreman up. I'm like, "Hey, I just blew a power steering line." He goes, "Where are you at?" It's the north end of Calumet. He goes, "You think you can limp it back here?" I'm like, I can make it down the ramps. I said, "I'll radio when I'm coming up Klein." I said, "I'm going to need you to stop traffic. Because coming off Klein Avenue into our yard, you got off on the exit to the stoplight.
Mm-hmm.
You had a hard right, followed immediately by a hard left.
Mm.
Without power steering, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Especially in those trucks. And I'm not a weakling by any means, and I was damn near standing in that cab trying to turn this damn wheel.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
That's a reason why they got those big ass steering wheels.
Really, it's like the big old fashioned wooden wheels on a sailing ship. You've got to have the spool, the spindles on the outside to be able to turn those damn things.
Joe, I shudder thinking about you having to do that because I had to. We went to the next door neighbor to get hay for my grandfather's, and I had to drive his '65 Chevy stepside. Had an 8-foot wooden bed, manual steering, 3 on the tree, and slant 6. One of those indestructible 6-cylinder engines.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my God, that was a pain in the ass to turn.
Yeah, but
And it had this. It
six
looked like,
would not stop.
and it looked like it had a damn huge pipe wrench for a parking brake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. That weren't worth a shit.
Oh my God.
Well,
He drove that shit for 30 freaking years. It took a man to drive that truck.
Our old brush trucks used to have those kind of brakes.
Well, we got a ping here.
Mm.
Or is that...
That was in your room. I was hopping into LMS since that's coming
Oh,
up shortly.
okay.
Joe,
Oh, it is going to be that time.
yeah, it's getting close. We
Yes.
had a truck, had our brush trucks that were like that, had that, whatever brake.
Yeah.
And this guy got out and he was walking up the hill. He got about halfway up to me and I went, "Your truck!" This guy turns around, takes off running full steam for his truck and realizes my truck's not moving.
You're a prick.
Oh,
It's right here. You missed it.
There's a special place in hell for you, Joe Dog. I swear.
There's a
Don't tell me you
14th
wouldn't have done it either, Joe.
Oh, I would have.
14th
Yeah.
circle in
Good night,
Dante
y'all. Everybody say good night.
mythology.
Happy
Good
Thanksgiving.
night, y'all.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you later.
Yeah.
I have slit the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.